Hey, are your NPCs kind of dull, boring, cookie cutter? What you need to do is inject a little personality. Stick around to find out. Hi, folks. Old Man Grognard here. Now, I'm going to be doing a corollary for the next 3 episodes on what I've talked about the last episode, which is about giving a performance as a GM. Everybody's giving a performance at the table, but I want to focus on NPCs because that's the crux of it right there. You may have nice traps and cool monsters and stuff like that, and Lord knows they're a big part of the game, but the NPCs are what really make them shine. Now, how do I make an NPC? Okay, well, everybody knows how to make an NPC. You make a stat block or whatever, but that's not what we're focusing on right now. What we're focusing on is bringing the character alive. And this is how I do it. First of all, get the old 8x10, 3x5 index card. I like to put my NPCs on index cards. First thing I come up with is a name. Tons of name generators out there. I got one in my computers. I got some printed out. I've got one on my phone. So you can get a name, even if it's something dull. You can come up with something. Name, I write name. I write occupation / purpose, because sometimes people will have an occupation, or they may not have an occupation, but they serve a purpose in the game. Like, say, there's a friendly monster. I've had them in my games that you run into. They don't really have an occupation, but they serve as a purpose in the game. It's also a little shorthand for you as the GM to figure out what's going on with them and, why are they in this story. Next, I will write down 3 traits that I can put with this character. Now, there's plenty of places out here. If you can't think of them up yourself, I mean, I've been boondoggled before because, if you got say 4 NPCs and you got to come up with 4 distinctive NPCs. We're not talking about the cannon fodder. We're not talking about the monsters. We're talking about somewhat either primary antagonists, protagonists, or supporting players. And there's plenty of charts for those out there. I've got a few on my book over there. The internet's loaded with them, and a lot of stuff. My favorite is the old standby, the first edition AD&D Dungeon Master's Guide, because on page 99 and 100, you will find these pages of traits down here on the lower right. You see it? And you can just roll on that for some quick traits. And if you want to get a little more elaborate, go on the next page, you will find it broken down with more. I mean, you even got like sanity tables on the first one. It's great to find out if the character's nuts or not. I don't think you should roll everything up. Sometimes you come up with a good idea. Use it. Don't be a slave to the tables are a tool. Okay? Tables are a tool. That's my mantra. Tables are a tool. So, okay, I've got the pages here. I printed out off the PDF. So let's roll a couple, okay? Okay, it says, let's just do the basic traits table. Okay, it says general tendencies. You roll a D6 and a D12. Now, I'm assuming that because the chart goes from 1 to 24, so I don't know why you can't use 4d6 for this, but it makes it a little easier, I guess. So you roll it. 1, 2, 3 is 1s, 4, 5, 6 is 10s on the d6. So I got a 4 for a d12 and a 5 on the d6, which makes it 14. So I look on 14 and it says perceptive. Okay, I write that down. Roll again. I got a 12 and a 5, so that's 24. Loquacious. You write that down. Look it up or Google it. I know what it is. I just can't. I don't have time to explain it right now. And the last one. Okay. Okay. I rolled a 2 and a 1, which makes it 2. Pessimist. So we have a perceptive, loquacious pessimist, which I find is a pretty interesting character. All you older people, I think of sort of like Stephen Wright and the guy who used to play Dietrich on Barney Miller, Steve Landensburg. Those kind of guys. Very, very low key, very dry humor, very dry talking about, things like that. Um, and that's what you notice. I didn't put any stats down here. You can put stats down here if you think you need them. But my point is, if you're not going to fight the guy, what do you need stats for? Or if they're not going adventure with you, they may. I mean, they may. So yeah, you'll need a few stats. But if I need a stat, I'll just write like, I have average. Stats for everybody. I say everybody's an average 10, and that's being generous for the normal population. And if it's like, say, the captain of the guard, I say strength +3, dex +2, or something like that. That's all I put down there. You can also put anything of note that they have on their person. You never know when that thief is going to want to pick somebody's pocket or something. So that's how I come up with NPCs for my games. Now, there are other ones like the Big Bad. I got to go in a little more detail, but that's a separate thing. This is down and dirty. You can do this on a break between games, or during a session, or say at a convention. If you need 3 NPCs, take this chart or take one of the charts like I talked to you about, and boom, 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 there it is. And that's how you give them personality. So if you have any comments on this, or you want to write me, I'm at oldmangrognard@gmail.com. Until next time, see ya!